The next topic that we want to talk about is we want to switch over to wrestling.
That's my baby girl, y'all.
Yeah. She definitely want to introduce the next topic. We want to talk about wrestling and maybe have a conversation about who you guys' favorite wrestlers are. I know that there's a couple different things that can make different wrestlers favorites for everybody. I know that there's a lot of weight classes. I know that there's a lot of eras, but I kind of want to know who you guys think, or who you guys would choose to be your favorite wrestler and why.
Go ahead, kick us off, brother.
I get it. Well, my favorite wrestler will have to be none other but the great legend killer himself. Right now, that's my favorite wrestler right now is Randy Orton. I mean, hey, listen, listen, dog, that nigga cold. I'm sorry.
Nigga cold.
I ain't gonna lie, but
hey, when he said I hear voices in my head, I said I understand what you're talking about, brother.
Yeah, he's just a whole different level.
I know what you mean, bro.
But listen, Randy Orton's been my favorite wrestler for a while. Mm-hmm. But the reason why is just because his impact was just amazing. Like it's just like him turning heel or good guy, you love him regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter. You can, if you was a kid and you love John Cena, if Randy Orton beat up John Cena, you didn't care. You know what I'm saying? You didn't care. Yeah. It's just like Randy Orton during that time.
And by the way, Randy Orton got the record over John Cena in one-on-one competition. Just saying.
I didn't know that, but hey.
When it comes to championships, Randy Orton beat John Cena more times for a championship than John Cena beat Randy Orton.
Okay, cool. We in the game. But the reason why I choose Randy, like I said, his impact was just incredible. You know what I'm saying? I love impact. Like just the energy you get when you see somebody. Like when Randy Orton come out, you get hyped. Then he got one of the greatest finishers in the game to me. That RKO is crazy. When he started getting them boys up in midair, he had the punt.
Tell him what we used to do in high school, bro. Tell him what we used to do in high school, bro.
We was RKO people on the lockers. We was doing
was open.
Everything, bro. You
bring that neck like, here, boy.
We started the RKO out of nowhere. Like for real, man. But he had the punt when he brought the punt into the game, bro. It was over. They had the band. Banned it.
Who finishing move in an organized wrestling match gets banned? It's fake. It's organized, and it got banned, bro.
And
they said you can't even kick a nigga for fake.
Was a different. You feel
how's that possible?
That's what I'm saying. Randy Orton was a different breed, bro. Like, dude was just cold, man. And like he had some of the greatest signature moves. He had a comeback. It was amazing, like the clotheslines, the duck, and then he did the scoop slam.
And that snake amazing. Punch on the ground.
Yeah, when he that taunt when he get up, start banging on the ground. Boom,
give me goosebumps.
Then he had the spike DDT was a signature move. When he first did that, I remember that was crazy, bro. And like, I mean, the fans really fell in love with Randy, man. And there's the reason why he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame to this day, man. And Randy Orton was, man. That RKO just my favorite move, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy.
I think y'all already could tell that I'm gonna go with Randy as well. Randy Orton has always been my favorite wrestler, man. When they finally gave him the cover on, I think it was 12.
Yep.
Video game, I was like, it's about dang time, well overdue.
By the way, one of the best wrestling games.
Right, period. Right. And I think the fact that him and Triple H have, I think, the same titles. I think he might got one more than Triple H. But when Triple H came back after his retirement, I think he won one that he gave to himself, at WrestleMania. So I think they're tied, if I'm not mistaken, with 14 championships.
14?
Yeah, 14.
Okay.
And the only wrestlers that have more than them is John Cena, who was like the poster.
And Ric
Flair, who didn't even get all his championships with the WWE. So,
right.
you know, I look at Randy Orton as like the second greatest career of all time, let alone being my favorite. He has the second greatest career of all time. So it's a lot of reasons why I love Randy Orton. He reminds me of myself in a way, dealing with anger issues, dealing with a lot when I was younger. You know what I mean? And so his character just, it vibes with me a lot more than like the superhero John Cena character, when you know ain't nobody really that giddy and, oh, I love everybody. When you know John Cena really arrogant in the butthole in real life. Randy Orton wasn't afraid to let you know that, yeah, I'm a a-hole and I'm gonna put it into my character, because his character was really about him. And I think that's why he got over with people so well. It's because it was genuinely him. Like I saw the interview when he was about to headbutt I think he was Indian, the Indian guy. When the Indian guy asked him a question, he was like, say it again. I will headbutt your teeth through your skull. I understand that lingo. You feel me?
Right.
I get where he was when he was younger and how having his wife and his kids kind of mellowed him out, but he's still kind of crazy. Like, I think him and Triple H, that rivalry when Triple H came to Dude's house, I think that was like one of the coldest things.
Man, I remember watching that. I was in this living room I'm in now.
I think that was like one of the coldest rivalries ever. What he did to Stephanie McMahon, like how he was just like, and then he got the lawyers. You remember when he RKO'd Stephanie and then got his lawyers to say he had anger problems? You can't.
Yes, bro. And then you want to know what? The most savage move ever, when he RKO'd Stephanie right there in front of Triple H while he was handcuffed and kissed her. Oh, that's like,
so that's why he's my favorite, man. And let alone his like physical ability, because I think Randy Orton is actually one of the most physically talented wrestlers like to date. Like him and Shawn Michaels, their physical just athleticism is incredible, dude.
Right.
Incredible. Ain't no way somebody 6'4", 6'5", 245 pounds should jump as high as this man jumped. His drop kicks are like perfect to his opponent's skull. And he's going against guys that's also like 6'4", 6'5",
exactly.
6'8", and it's equal to their skull. That's athleticism out of this world. His RKOs, the way he can hit them anywhere at any time, his aiming, I'm like, dude is just incredible. Let alone what he does on the mic and how he just gets you into his character so much.
Mic skills, crazy.
You
got to be great on that mic, and Randy Orton most definitely got
crazy. So that's why he's my favorite.
Him and Chris Jericho.
Me. Yeah. You said what?
That's what's up. Those are good reasons. And I think that Randy Orton is definitely one of the greatest of all time. I mean, there's so much to like about him. There's so much to be relatable. He's such a relatable guy. I want to ask you guys another question, which is not your favorite, but who do you believe across all eras of wrestling and all the evolution that's happened do you think, in your opinion, the greatest wrestler of all time? Johnny, I want you to start.
The greatest wrestler of all time?
You better say the right name, bro. You better say the right name, bro.
All time.
You better say the right name, bro.
Hit me with a tough one.
But that's easy. It's easy.
All time?
It's easy, bro.
I'm gonna have to probably go with Stone Cold.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm probably gonna have to go with Stone Cold. All time. The reason I say that too is it's something similar to Randy, the impact. That it's just like, and then his mic skills. He got people still saying his coach to this day.
What?
You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
What?
Like, people still say that, bro. So, like, he was a good wrestler. Like, you know what I'm saying? The stunner was it's something similar to the RKO. He just added a kick. So you feel me? Didn't get all of your
nasty.
Had the beers, man. But he was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, far as that area, like, Stone Cold actually ran the era at one point. You know what I'm saying? But
he kind of had a battle with The Rock. The Rock was right there with him.
Yeah, him and The Rock,
and before The Rock, you had to give it to Bret the Hitman Hart. They were right there.
Yeah. But I wanted to choose Stone Cold for that reason. But my favorite, like all-time great, would be I like Shawn Michaels though. I like Shawn Michaels. Me personally, the super kick that's one besides the RKO. That's one of my favorite specials.
That nigga said, "You think I'm cute."
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm sexy. Like,
that's my all-time favorite. But I think like Shawn Michaels is my all-time favorite. But I think Stone Cold Impact hit harder than Michaels. Even though, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it just like, Stone Cold, he was good. He had mic skills. He had good mic skills. He didn't care who it was. I don't even know if he like to this day, I don't even know if Stone Cold character was heel or good. I think he just was him.
He was just him, yeah.
He
said, never trust a rattlesnake.
Yeah, right. Don't trust nothing. You know what I'm saying? His interests, he used to come out with these big old trucks and spray the beers at people. Like it just was amazing, bro. And the people love to watch. His rivalry
was Vince McMahon is right there with Triple H and Randy Orton. Right there.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like it just like, yeah, and then like Stone Cold, he in the conversation, one of the greatest rivalries, like how Randy Orton, one of his greatest rivalries is with Undertaker. You feel what I'm saying? And Stone Cold got Vince and The Rock. It's just like these are moments you would never forget. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just stuff you will never forget. And I wish WWE would have stayed that way. But fortunately it's not. But
no.
Yeah, man. But I pick Stone Cold.
All right. So mine's is a little bit different. So I have categories with mine's. All right.
Right.
Because wrestling is such a interesting kind of thing where the actual wrestling skill it's not the only importance in being a wrestler. You know what I mean? So I have to put them in different categories, just like I do basketball. I put people in different categories. Kobe is my favorite player of all time. I think Jordan's the greatest player of all time. And I think LeBron's the most talented player of all time. So they all like wash each other out to me. But in arguments, I always pick LeBron third just to stir up an argument with people. But that's kind of how that goes for me. And then Kareem was probably one of the most winningest players of all time. So when it comes to wrestling, I always go for The Rock, right? So The Rock is what I inspire to be when it comes to entertaining people. When it comes to just making you laugh, making you want to tune in to see what kind of crazy is about to come out this man's mouth.
Right.
Like, so funny. I watch Rock clips all the time, and it's never about fighting with The Rock. It's always about what is he saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that he turned that into acting, like who didn't see that coming, right?
Right.
So I consider that, right, as my best of all time. And then you go to The Undertaker, right? Who's also my 1A2, you know what I mean? And The Undertaker to me had the longest, most just dominant career that you can have in wrestling. He's what you want in longevity. He's what you want in in ambiance, you know what I mean? And just vibe. Right. Like when you hear about The Undertaker, you get a vibe that you don't get with no other wrestler.
Right.
Not even Kane. You don't get it with no other wrestler because he just built that kind of aura around himself. That's just, to me, you have to be considered the best doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I go from him to Stone Cold. And the reason why I like Stone Cold was his ability to connect with people by just being a person. You know what I mean? Stone Cold was like, I'm a bald head redneck who like to drink beer. I just so happen to be pretty strong and pretty athletic. So I'm doing this wrestling thing. But you dang sure gonna know I'm just a redneck from Texas. And I think to have that kind of ability with people, and to me, he has the greatest 5-year arc of all time. No one had a 5-year arc like Stone Cold Steve Austin. From 95 or 96, really 97. So from 97, 96, 97 to 2001, 2002, I mean, I can't think of nobody. I mean, Daniel Bryan was close. John Cena's close. Yeah. The Rock close, but no cigar. Like, dude could tell you to rob a bank and you've been seeing 1,000 and millions of people robbing banks. Like, yeah. That's just the connection he had with the people. It's different than The Rock. So The Rock connection with people was different because he was entertaining, whereas Stone Cold's connection with people was different because they just liked him. They saw themselves as Stone Cold Steve Austin, because that was kind of the modern America in the 90s, was bald head, blue-eyed, white dude. You know what I mean? Right. With the jean shorts that go way too high up. That was kind of the motto for America. So, and then he was a badass. Like he was kicking butt like all the time. Right. So that was that. And then my fourth one, I will actually have to go with a guy who I don't want to put up here. Johnny knows. Me and Johnny really don't like this dude, but you got to give props where props is due. And that last spot for me has to go to John Cena, where it was going to go to Ric Flair. Ric Flair was going to have that last spot, but John Cena to me bumped him out, because John Cena embodied just consistency. You know, he's kind of the same as The Undertaker with longevity, but The Undertaker was dominant longer, whereas John Cena was more consistent longer. John Cena to me had a 10-year, 11-year period where he was God, like in the wrestling world.
He was out there God. Every night. He didn't have
Stone Cold can't say that. Randy Orton can't say that. The Undertaker can't say that. The Rock can't say that. He was God. You hear me? Yeah. And it was because of his connection with kids and how he portrayed the superhero aspect, which I think was genius. The army man, superhero kind of thing, Captain America kind of vibe, which will always connect in entertainment, especially when you got kids watching. So I think he did that better than anybody. And I don't think anybody will ever do what John Cena has done in wrestling. Period. Nah. Period. Nope. That's how I kind of describe that. Shawn Michaels is my guy, but I just can't put him up there. I can't say he's greater than John Cena because he didn't have that 10-year consistency like John Cena. I can't say he's greater than Stone Cold, because Stone Cold was just more badass than him. I wanted to be Stone Cold. I didn't want to be Shawn Michaels, you know? I just thought he was cool to watch. I didn't want to be Shawn Michaels. I wanted to be Stone Cold. With The Undertaker, The Undertaker was just physically more dominant than Shawn Michaels. He was just physically better, and he lasted longer. And then with The Rock was physically better, but The Rock was more entertaining than Shawn Michaels. Even though, to me, if I had to put them in categories, Shawn Michaels would be where The Rock is, in that entertainment kind of vibe. Yeah, because Shawn Michaels he just pretty stopped the show. That's why they called him the showstopper.
And then when he got with DX, he got more entertaining for real. So
the disrespect that these dudes was doing in the 90s was hilarious, dude. Right. Like the pure disrespect. Like, so I gotta give him his credit and his props, but I just can't put him over any of those guys. I just can't do it.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I think that those are all really good picks. I did say the greatest, but you guys have had different interpretations of the question and who you guys
because they're different. You can't. It's just like UFC. There's different things. There's different. You can't compare The Rock to The Undertaker. The Undertaker's 6'11".
Right. No, I understand what you guys are saying, and I agree. I think that those are some legendary guys. They've all done so much to advance the sport. And
the crazy thing is, Johnny, though, it's funny. Not one actual wrestler will ever be named as the greatest wrestler of all time. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
None of those guys are like actual wrestlers. Maybe the Undertaker because he can box. So he's a skilled fighter because of his boxing skill.
What about Kurt Angle?
Right. Kurt Angle to me would be considered the greatest wrestler. You know what I mean? Or maybe
Samoa
Chris
Joe?
Benoit or Daniel Bryan or somebody of that ilk.
What about Samoa Joe? No?
I like him though.
Throw it out there. Okay.
Somebody like Brock Lesnar, those would be considered the greatest wrestlers. But who in their right mind is saying Kurt Angle is the greatest wrestler of all time? Nobody.
Probably
need to be
not.
drug tested
Probably
if you
not.
say some stuff like that.
I don't think so. I definitely don't think anybody is necessarily saying that. But thank you guys for coming on tonight. I appreciate you guys debating and sharing your opinions. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely like and subscribe. Become a part of our channel. Let us know your opinion. We'd love to hear it. So if you have an opinion, if you agree with us, or even if you disagree with us, that's great. We want to hear it all.